Okay, so this is going to be episode 3.5. I did a little bit of cave exploring to gather some resources, and I lost all my audio. So I'm going to put the gameplay in the background, and I'm going to read to you guys the patch note for update 2 that just came out on January 24th, 2026. So you can watch me go through the cave and learn what the game is doing to be better. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a great day. Okay, Hytale patch notes update 2, posted by the Hytale team January 24th, 2026. Cosmetics and customization. New avatar customization options have been added for everyone. The bandit mask plus side knot variant, blindfold plus thick variant, bandage blindfold plus thick left eye and right eye variants. Vampire mouth has been added, acute mouth, an orc mouth, and also added white color to fantasy cotton cosmetic colors. Updated visuals for the following haircuts: single side pigtail, hair stick bun, simple bob cut, fighter buns, smart elven, and windswept. Also added new armor slot visibility toggles next to the equipped armor, accessible directly in the character panel. Server hosts can disable and enable this feature to enforce rules for PvP and immersion purposes. Also improved animations for capes when the player is running. Gameplay and balance. A new item has been added that allows the user to raise skeletal minions from nearby bone piles. It also has a chance to drop from large Praetorian skeleton. Adamite now requires a thorium or cobalt pickaxe to be mined. Mining and pickaxe progression has been adjusted. Lower tier pickaxes now deal much less damage to higher tier ore blocks. Upgrading to a higher quality pickaxe significantly reduces the amount of hits required. They buff polar bears. There are more decorative light recipes that have been added to the furniture bench. The following NPCs will now drop medium hide instead of light hide. The bison, the boar, the cow, the horse, and the warthog. The magma toad has been adjusted. The tug damage has been significantly reduced. It now alternates between tongue attack and a new ability, the headbutt. Petals are now craftable in the furniture bench under textile categories. This makes them renewable, as the yellow petals can be farmed from growing sunflower seeds. Okay. All crafting requirements used to make the different colored petals are renewable resources. Lighter variants from each cloth block can now be crafted using a combination of petals. I am assuming by adding white to other colors, they can be lightened up. World Generation, World Gen V2 has been prepared for the public documentation to help modders. New default flat and default void templates have been added using World Gen V2. The creative hub portal now spawns with World Gen V2 flat World Gen. Results in clear weather and limited fog, but only works in new creative worlds. Major refactor of ore placement in all zones. You will need to explore new chunks for old worlds to see this change. Results in more ores, especially in devastated lands, underground areas. Farming. Eternal crops no longer break from accidental weapon damage. Increased tilled soil lifetime. It now lasts longer, between 1.2 to 1.5 days. Fixed soil decay under fully grown crops. So, not really sure what that one means. You can now hold torches in your offhand while using the hoe and seeds. Breaking fully grown eternal crops will drop their seeds back. Harvested crops can now be placed on the ground when crouching, and the recipe requirement costs have been adjusted for hoes. Hoes now unlock at different farming bench tiers. Copper is now a tier 2 instead of tier 4. Iron is now tier 4 instead of tier 8, and thorium has been added at tier 6. UI and UX. I really don't know anything about any of this stuff. I'll read it anyway. Improved the editor block tooltip descriptions. Tooltips will now display name of colors when hovering over color options in the avatar customization menu. Made improvements to the visibility of the hotbar active slot by increasing contrast and adding a diamond indicator. This makes it easier to see the hotbar active slot when in brighter environments like the Howling Sands. The category of memories are now sorted alphabetically when being viewed via the Heart of Orbis. Scripted brush QOL improvements. I added missing entries to filters and removed invalid blocks from filters. Fixed various bugs in existing scripted brushes. Added a decoration and cave brushes. Removed redundant scripted brushes, and updated the jump L block type node to use single offset instead of a list of offsets. Inventory interaction updates. Better double click handling. You can now click faster. Good. I hated that. I kept dropping things. Shift clicking on armor will now directly equip it if no armor is currently equipped in the respective slot. QERT shortcut keybinds have been added for the inventory quick actions. Put all, quick stack, and sort. Shortcuts now displayed in the tooltip when hovering over quick action buttons such as sort items by type is T. An FPS counter overlay option has been added to the game settings menu. This can be found under General/User Interface. The current FPS will be displayed in the top right corner of the game when this is enabled. They also made various improvements to player markers. Player markers now display on the compass. Removed player prefix from the player markers on the map. Player names will always render on the map. Added toggle buttons for map and compass visibility in the map's player list. Players at different heights will have a different icon, up and down indicators in the compass. Added some other phobia. I don't know what that phobia is. Ophidophobia? Ophidophobia? I don't know what that means. For people who are scared of stuff. This can be found under the gameplay menu /accessibility. It turns, oh, okay, so it's the fear of snakes. It turns snakes into hatworms. Okay. I could have just read a little bit farther and understood what I was reading. Audio and visual effects added all the missing basic Rex sounds, so the T-Rex now has sounds. Updated the bones item drag and drop inventory sound, fixed a bug in the Howling Sands cave track, and updated all food particle tints. Okay, last category is the bug fixes, the tech, and stability. Introduced a server auto update system, including configuration options and new commands for update management. Added a new update module core plugin and integrated it into the server boot process, allowing the server to check for and apply updates, notify players, and handle staged updates. Introduced update config in Hytale server config with fields for enabling updates, checking intervals, notification preferences, patch line selection, backup options, and auto apply modes. Includes serialization support and getter/setter methods. Added a new shutdown reason dot update to indicate when the server should restart to apply a staged update. Added a new /update commands and detailed server messages for checking, downloading, applying, and managing updates, including player notification and auto apply warnings. Updated the release workflow to include launcher scripts, i.e. start-sh and start.bat. Made improvements to rendering shadows to fix various issues. Fixed the middle click pick block when the hotbar is full in creative mode. Now when middle clicking a block in creative mode, when the inventory is full, it will place the current slot with the newly picked item. I wonder if pick block works in the regular game now, because it didn't before. The asset editor will now display documentation in tooltips. They fixed issues with mantling detection, which resulted in many unintended behaviors. Oh boy, do I know about that. Implemented a fix to persist cleared keybinds across sessions. Made some adjustments to improve weather transitions to reduce jarring visuals. More improvements will be made in future updates. Fixed an issue when using teleporters to avoid accidental collision by applying an offset. Rail carts now consume correctly and place properly. Bed respawning in unloaded chunks has been fixed. Fixed an issue where the collision checks always failed if there were no loaded chunks. Major server stability, validation, ECS, localization, and timeout improvements. Refilling containers now targets the closest block of water rather than requiring you to aim at a block behind or under water. Fix some types of items displaying oversized placement previews. Fixed an issue with the Berserker haircut texture tiling. Fixed glasses texture from inheriting the cosmetic color of their lens highlights. Added permissions for world map teleporting. It prevents players from sending packets to the server and teleporting anywhere they want to without OP. Emerald Wilds Dungeon and other environments have been fixed. You might hear new soundtracks. That's interesting. Fixed sending player markers updates while map isn't open, and fixed player markers flickering when hovered on the map. And last but not least, other players' names are more readable when zoomed in on the map. And that is all the patch note updates that I have for you as of now. Thank you and have a great day.